Well, we are going to be discussing the World Cup qualifiers today because it's absolutely insane that Norway have made history as they qualify for the World Cup, but elsewhere we've got teams that have made it to contention as well. Germany and the Netherlands have also qualified now, with the latest teams to qualify for the FIFA World Cup dominating their qualifier. Germany beating Slovakia 6-0, and then the Netherlands are also securing their place with their 4-0 victory over Lithuania. Germany, of course, absolutely intense. The Germans are known for the brand of football that we finally saw from them as well. So we discussed that. Northern Ireland edged Luxembourg 1-0 as well. They were also brilliant on a night of football when it mattered the most as well. Of course, I think it was just a brilliant performance from teams all around who are now making it up for qualifications as well. I'm Ahmed Nawaz. You're watching the scoreboard, coming to you live on Pakistan TV from our Islamabad studios. Let's take a look at our other top stories as well. From there onwards, we move on to boxing, and we tell you that Alexander Usyk has relinquished his WBO heavyweight title. Now, this has come as a shock to many, but the fact is that the Ukrainian heavyweight champion has officially now relinquished his belt, and he stated that, of course, they've received a formal communication from his team as he chooses to vacate his title as well. This decision, of course, comes as he still holds on to the WBA Super and WBC and IBF titles as well. His decision comes amidst a mandate to defend the belt against Fabio Wadley, but he opted not to. According to his team, this is more of a respectful pause rather than a full retirement as well. So a very personal decision that has come from Alexander Usyk as well. Then, of course, we talk about the fact that Wadley has now become the new WBO champion by default. So the belt obviously goes there as well. Then we talk about the Paralympic world-class program for athletes for the year 2026. A bit more involvement for Paralympic athletes in general as well. It's designed for top para-athletes who are capable of competing for medals. According to the athlete investment guidelines for UK athletes who have a realistic potential to medal at the future Paralympic Games as well, in three structures: the confirmation, the podium, and then of course the qualification scenario as well involved in there as well. Then we move on to the AFC qualifiers for Asia, where Pakistan have been absolutely hammered by Syria in a home game that was played at the Jinnah Sports Stadium at the Sports Complex in Islamabad. They lost to Syria 5-0. They were all over the place. The defense were absolutely horrific. I mean, there's nothing more that we can talk about in this game as well. Then we move on to the Tri-Nation Series, where Pakistan is set to face Zimbabwe in the opener of this Tri-Nation Series as well, between Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe. The action will be live on PTV Sports HD from 6 p.m. onwards. We'll keep updating you with the latest scores and team results as well. And then, of course, I think something very, very special in our first segment today. We're going to be introducing you to someone who's made headlines as well. But before we do that, we've got three sisters who are now all set to make history as well. It's not about twins anymore. It's about trios who are making this history as they pursue their Olympic dream as well. So, of course, we're going to tell you all the details that you need to know as you talk about the pursuit of Olympic dream for Sam Lauren and Ali Makuga, who are absolutely brilliant, and their story is somewhat of great determination and emotions as well. But I think the three are absolutely fantastic when it comes to the game that will be inspiring generations to come. From there onwards, of course, time now to start off the show in detail. We'll start off with our first segment. I'm going to introduce you to someone very, very special who's made headlines all over the world. She's been making world records. She is one of the youngest mountaineers that we have in Pakistan, and at this very young age, she's been able to, of course, not just fear, but never give up attitude. She's very focused. I've talked to her before as well, and what I got to know is that she has that never giving up attitude, and she's just focused on what the task is up ahead as well. And she's very passionate and very emotional about what she wants to achieve in life when it comes to mountains as well. Pakistan is a fantastic destination, but every now and then we find people who are certainly making global headlines, and this time joining us is a young mountaineer, Miss Selena Khwaja. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the scoreboard.
Walaikum assalam. Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm good.
Well, first of all, we have to talk about how this journey all started. When did Selena realize that I'm going to climb a mountain?
Well, I wasn't the one who realized. It was my papa. So I'm from Ahmedabad, and our highest peak is Miranjani Top. We used to go there for like fun trips with Papa's friends and stuff. So he realized, like by the time I was 8, that I had improved a lot. Like I was stronger than most of the people who would go there. So he thought that I have potential for at least Mount Everest. So we took that as our goal, and we started with small mountains, and then I made a world record, and then we have been in the field ever since.
Well, talk us through that world record, because that made global headlines all over the world.
Well, I was the youngest to climb a 7,000 meter mountain in the entire world. Like not just the specific mountain, which was Spantic Peak, any 7,000er at the age of 10.
Well, certainly. So, what was the preparation for that world record? Because obviously, when you were, planning it and then you had to execute it, you already knew that if you're able to do it, it's going to be a world record. So, that's some inspiration and some drive going in that maybe, I want to do this. But what was the preparation for that like?
Well, we have a gym, so we would regularly train in the gym. We would go for our hikes. Other than that, I climbed one 5,000er and two 6,000ers before going for the 7,000. And we didn't really know much at the time, so I went without oxygen, without acclimatization. So yeah.
So what's the biggest challenge that you see is there for any mountaineer, especially for someone who's very young at age? Which is the biggest challenge you feel is there?
Well, the biggest challenge would definitely be gathering funds, because it's very difficult. Not many people know about this field, and even if they do, it's so expensive that they think they can't really fund it.
So we need better funding, first of all. Better funding and logistics, it's always the case as well. But Selena, your father, you've mentioned this before as well, your father's been your biggest support. And as a youngster, if our parents are supporting us in something that we love, we tend to, have this superpower that, we now have more drive and determination that, my parents are supporting me, I can do this. So in your case, your father's been your biggest support and he's been your mentor. How have you used that towards your courage as well?
Well, he's with me on every expedition, so that's like always a huge support, because he doesn't really want to leave me alone either. So on every expedition, in our training and everything, he's my nutritionist, my trainer, everything.
So that's good. That's what dads are for, especially for daughters. I think it becomes very, very special as well. But throughout Pakistan, there are fantastic destinations we talk about there for mountaineering, and there are a lot of adventures that are there. But we have often talked about that we need better logistics, as you mentioned, we need better funding as well. How would you compare Pakistan when you see global facilities as well? Which is something that we can work on as a country to improve the culture of mountaineering in Pakistan?
Well, the world has 14 8,000 meter high mountains, and Pakistan has 5 of them, including Nanga Parbat and K2, which are like a huge deal. But when you compare the logistics that we get here and in Nepal, you would say that Mount Everest is way easier than any of the mountain here, because first of all, the tracks are terrible, the services you get are terrible, the food is terrible, everything is terrible. So if we work for that, because we have so much potential here, not just in the 8,000ers, we have uncountable 6 and 7,000ers. So we should work on like improving everything. Or porters, or let's say guides, they have no training whatsoever. They don't know how to deal with people, how they have to work on a mountain. But that is why people bring Nepali Sherpas from outside. When we have so many people here, why not just train them rather than having people bringing Sherpas from outside?
Absolutely. We've got some fantastic videos that we're seeing of you as well, and maybe you can better identify for us. Let's take a look at those videos again if we can, and of course Selena can identify some of these. So what is this? What is happening over here?
There was a glacier, and we were going back to base camp. So there was like no way across. There was a river, a very big glacier river. So we had to jump over that. And these are from our way to Camp 1.
Absolutely. I mean, just look at those, terrains. I mean, one would even just see them and be scared, but you don't give up, do you? I mean, but talk us through the recent task of Nanga Parbat as well. We call it the killer mountain popularly, but that is one challenge that you're very focused on.
Well, I've attempted Nanga Parbat twice now. Once was in 2023 and one was last year. And last year I was only 500 meters short of the summit. So like at around 7,600 meters, I had to turn back because my oxygen was used up by somebody who was not supposed to.
Use up your oxygen. Yes.
Yeah, who was not even supposed to go up in the first place. So because of that, I lost my summit, I lost a world record, I lost like a lot because of that. So I think it's that thing that I really have to finish this. So our next goal for next year in June is Nanga Parbat once again.
Absolutely, but I'm going to ask you this later on, but my first question was that once that didn't happen, I understand you become frustrated. How did you overcome that?
I think it was very difficult for me because like right from the mountain I was telling my papa, I'm never gonna step foot on a mountain again. I am never going on any expedition. And he was like he gave me some time to process everything, and then he slowly crept back the training, and I was like, wait, what's going on? And then later we were training and he was like, no, you're not gonna give up like that, like it was that person's fault, it was not your fault. So I was like, oh yeah, why do I give up because somebody tried to, like, you can't really say sabotage, but it was like something to harm me in a way.
So universe has a better plan. You never would know that had you continued what would have happened. So maybe there was a better plan.
No, I would have died if I went ahead because I didn't have any oxygen. So once you are using oxygen and all of a sudden you're off of it around 8,000 meters,
That's
which
it,
is
you're
the
done.
death zone. So I wouldn't have survived.
Well, one thing I do, like I said, I'll ask you later on, but now I do want to, that I'm sure you're going to get to the summit of Nanga Parbat very soon, inshallah. I am certain of that. Are you going to scream loudly when you do that? Because obviously you've not been able to do it twice now. So once you achieve that, what's going to be your emotional reaction? Have you pictured yourself on the summit, and what are you going to do then?
I think I have pictured myself there. Like I have this entire scenario that I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make a video for my best friend as well, because she has been kind of like my backbone. She has been my supporter, my social media manager, everything. So I think I'm going to be really happy. And the first thing I'm gonna do is like make a video for her, thanking her, because she is kind of the reason I'm still in this, because she just pushed me a lot.
Well, absolutely. Well, a shout out to your friend as well. I think that's what friends are for. So that must be a very close friend that we talk about. So, that being said, Nanga Parbat is one part of the picture that we have to do. What is next now? How have you planned what's coming up for the future?
Well, first of all, obviously we have Nanga Parbat, but we need funding for that. If we can gather funding, or even if we don't, I think we're going to go for Nanga Parbat. And then it depends on the outcome. If we're successful, I'm going to try to complete all 14, and there's a chance that I can be the youngest female in the world to do that. So that is there. But if we're not successful in that, I don't think I'm going to be chasing after a world record. I'm just going to continue, like, kind of, you can say, leisure mountaineering or something like that.
But if that happens, then what's next?
Well, if that happens, then we're probably going to shift to the Karakoram site, because Nanga Parbat is done earlier in June, and the Karakoram season is July, August. So by then I should have at least 2 8,000ers or even 3. There's a chance.
I mean, look at this. We're talking about, all sort of certain things. And I asked this to Selena previously as well, when I said that the younger generation is on mostly on digital devices these days, so you're transcending. And she said, no, I'm also on digital devices, and my father often gets upset. But I think she compensates it when she goes outdoors as well. But I think you've just been such a fantastic inspiration for so many young girls. And I think an even bigger hero is your father, because the way he's raised you is like, probably every daughter should be raised. You're resilient, you're absolutely, sure about what you're doing. And, we see some of those pictures as well of you there, and your father's with you, there you are, absolutely in your equipment and gear. So I think even in those conditions, when your father's beside you, I think he is the real hero. There he is. Mr. Khwaja is an absolute gentleman. And trust me, look, I was telling him the other day, he should be the next James Bond. That's how handsome he looks. So I mean, he's just an absolute champion that he is, and I think he's raised a very, very proud daughter as well. Your message to so many young girls, I mean, out there who see you as an inspiration, especially who probably see mountains and, think about it, but don't have the courage or will, or don't know how to, approach this field.
Well, my message is, like, don't give up. because even if it's on a mountain or in regular life, there are always hurdles, and that is the path to success, obviously. Like, I have faced so many failures in life, but I'm not giving up, and I know that at some point I will be successful in whatever field. So I think you shouldn't ever give up, and you should like gather a company that supports you rather than throwing you down like, oh, you failed, no, don't go for it. Like, you should have support, like even from family. That's huge.
Absolutely. Stay away from the negative people and surround yourself with winners and champions. I think that's what matters the most. But thank you very much, Selena. And I am 100% sure that the next time we have you on the show, you would have completed Nanga Parbat, and we will be talking about that, inshallah. Thank you very much for joining us. So, you know, you've heard it from Selena herself as well. She's been absolutely brilliant, and I am pretty much sure that she's going to ace Nanga Parbat this time. And when she does, like she said, she's going to make a video for her friend, but I'm sure she's going to let out a very huge scream, which she will record, and then we'll play it the next time she's here, because I am pretty sure she's going to ace everything she wants to ace, because she's a champion. And she's not just a champion, she's a daughter of a true champion as well. So I think Mr. Khwaja also deserves all that credit as well. But you've heard the inspirational story. Now, of course, we once again shift your focus to football, where Germany has been absolutely brilliant in their campaign to qualify for the World Cup. And I think it matters the most as well if you look at certain things that we talk about, and we talk about the goals as well. And of course, we give you all the details that you need to know about Germany's campaign. And they started off well. I think the match started off well, pretty decent for them as well, as 6-0 is a margin that Germany should have been hoping for as well. But in their match, which was played in Le Peg, Germany scored 4 goals in their first half, putting the game to dust early on. Nick Woltmann opened the scoring, Serge Gnabry added another, and of course Leroy Sané scored twice in the first half. In the second half, we had Ridul Baku and Hassan Odrogu making his debut, got onto the score sheet, as well as Germany, of course, topped Group A brilliantly as well. Elsewhere, we talked about Northern Ireland. They edged Luxembourg 1-0. They, of course, had the winning goal that came from Jamie Donnelly on his debut for Northern Ireland as well. He was absolutely clinical. But elsewhere, we've got different teams that have qualified as well. And we, of course, talk about the fact that we'll be seeing Germany in action. We'll be seeing a lot of other teams in action as well. We'll be seeing Portugal, who have made it to the World Cup qualifiers. We've made a lot of highlights about that. Norway are making history as they have qualified after many years for the FIFA World Cup as well. We're going to be seeing them in action as well. Of course, now we take your focus and bring you to cricket as well. We give you all the latest updates that you want to know. Pakistan's Tri-Series starts today against Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe, with the first encounter against Zimbabwe action live on PTV Sports from 6 p.m. onwards. Joining us in studios to discuss it further is sports expert and first-class cricketer Kashif Majeed. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, sir?
I'm perfectly all right.
Thank you very much for joining us. The Tri-Series now in focus. Looks like the final build-up towards the T20 World Cup.
I guess, yes, before moving on to the cricket, just a little bit of football. I want Italy to qualify because I want them to play 2 World Cups simultaneously, the cricket one and the football one. So, yes, talking about the Tri-Series, of course, every team is now gearing up for the upcoming T20 World Cup, and now all the focus shifts on the T20 World Cup. Although there is a huge fan following for the Ashes, who've been starting, pretty soon, and we all love to see that Ashes. But when it comes to Pakistan, everything is T20 right now, and we are hoping, because in emerging Asia Cup we are performing well, and now the focus is on this Tri-Series, because we want to create our best 11 and most probably our best 15 to go into the T20 World Cup, and this series is one of those milestones.
Well, we analyze different teams around the world, but I think let's talk about Zimbabwe a bit first. They've suddenly become a T20 sensation. It's a format that probably suits them best. Sikandar Raza has been a fantastic player for them, but he is also surrounded by players who on their given day can really hurt the opposition in a T20 game.
They've got a very decent bowling lineup, which Rajat Nagarwa is there, Muzrabani is there. Muzrabani was unplayable at times when he was part of Multan Sultan teams and he played the PSL. He was phenomenal, I would say. But it was their batting which eventually let them down. And when Sikandar Raza started playing at 4 and starting hitting those long balls, so that balance became eminent in their side, and this is where they're so dangerous, because when it comes to T20, every team has got a chance. Even US has got a chance against us, and they've won the match because the margin of error is very small. And if you go and do some errors pretty early in the innings, there is no way you can take those errors back or undo your errors, because it's eventually a 20 overs game, and once 2 to 3 overs to either side can change the fate of the game. So this is where every team has got chance, and Zimbabwe and some of those players have been playing T20 franchise cricket quite regularly, so they know how to deal with this T20 format.
Well, the T20 format suits them, and like you mentioned, Sikandar Raza at that position has really changed the difference as well. They're a team, like we said, they can trouble any opposition. Now for Pakistan, the T20 campaign has been a bit tricky. So far, white ball campaign has been excellent. One-day team looks to be settled in with a couple of equations. In T20, there is still a combination that needs to be made. Saibzada Farhan and Saim Ayub seem to be Pakistan's now permanent choice for opening position.
Recent Asia Cup outing, we've beaten every second team. Before that Asia Cup, we were quite convincing in our victories against Afghanistan, who was considered as a good T20 side. So it was just India and that final and that one bowler's performance, Haris Roof. So most probably we matched them evenly, and they are the defending champions. They've been playing good T20 cricket. So when I considered all those statistics and recent history with our T20, I think we are just up there in the top 4 with conditions of Sri Lanka. We are quite familiar with those conditions. We've been playing some good cricket, and now in the middle of the innings we have got some quality spinners too. I like to mention Nawaz's performance, because whenever Nawaz plays those Lanka Premier League, he was a good bowler. I like to mention Shadab because he made the comeback when playing Lanka Premier League.
We've got breaking news for you right now as well, and breaking news right now is that Abdul Samad, who was being talked about, number 6 for Pakistan, has been ruled out of this Tri-Nation series due to a finger injury which he suffered during training, which is a big blow to Pakistan, and his replacement has been announced as Hassan Nawaz, who will now be part of Pakistan's squad for the Tri-Series. So very, very unfortunate for Abdul Samad, because this was probably a ticket to the World Cup as well. But now it has been announced that he has been ruled out from the Tri-Nation series because of an injury which he suffered during training. 4 weeks of recovery is required for a finger injury that took place as well. Further discussing this, now joining us on the scoreboard is senior sports journalist Haider. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you, and welcome to the show.
Walaikum assalam, Ahmed. I'm fine. Thank you very much for inviting your show.
Right, sir. First update is that Pakistan have won the toss and they're bowling first now, so it looks to be a very clear-cut strategy.
Absolutely, it's very clear for the Pakistan team. They have done very well in the one-day series against Sri Lanka. They have a clean sweep, and now they are in a very good shape. I think this series is Tri series. It's a very easy series for the Pakistan team, because the Pakistan team is in very good shape. Pakistan have a good bowlers, good batters in the middle order. They are performing well. So Pakistan is really good, confident. But other teams like Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe, they are not up to the level of Pakistan at this moment, because Sri Lanka, we were supposing before starting this series, bilateral series with the Pakistan, that Sri Lanka will do something and they will perform well, but unfortunately they were not in a good shape and they haven't done it. Now in the Tri series, their regular captain, he is not there, Sri Lanka, he's not playing. Standing captain Shanta and other Kushal Mendes, he's not in a good form. So therefore, Pakistan now in the Tri series, they are favored to become the champion. But unfortunately, what we are seeing at this moment, that Pakistan is going with the old players also. Zimbabwe is going with the, just right now, Ramiz Raja said that what is the strategy? Two very young openers of Zimbabwe, another side 40 years old players, they are playing in the side also. So this is the same story in Pakistan also, 36, 37 years old, they are playing also. it could be a good series for the young talent that Pakistan team management, Pakistan think tank could try the newcomers, new talent before the T20 World Cup. Then you could see that which player is suitable for the next World Cup and also after this T20 World Cup, other series also. But still, if you are relying on Fakhar
I think
Zaman,
that really matters as well. Sir Haider, I think, has identified a very important particular prospect that you've got to think about where you want to use these players and what's the longevity of this process as well. But Kashif, your thoughts, I think, straightforward decision. Anyone who wins the toss wants to bowl first at Pindi, considering a due factor.
And also, recently Pakistan was chasing well. There was a time when we talk about Pakistan was not a good chaser, but now recently, when Babar was the captain, they always wanted to chase, and with all this due factor and Salman Ali Agha chasing to ball first, I think it makes sound. It's a sound decision, and let's see how Zimbabwe would respond to it, because they've been here, a couple of days earlier, and said they'll be used to the conditions. So most probably a good decision by Salman, and let's see how the bowlers respond to it, because I guess it's still the pitch and the conditions are on the slightly low, slower side with all these conditions. And let's the spinner do the havoc or the fast bowlers, because eventually the ball will grip. So fast bowlers will be using a lot of slow deliveries. So it will be a match where 140 will be a good score.
Well, usually Pindi has been a very fierce pitch to bat on for batters. I mean, they absolutely love it. Even in the PSL, we saw this same model as well. That it's become a high scoring pitch all of a sudden. Probably, and this is the way modern T20 cricket requires it now.
It was, but when we started playing Test cricket in Rawalpindi with the mantra of go slow and just turning track, those pitches out there, they suffered the slightest of the change in their nature, and that change is quite eminent when we see white ball cricket being played in Rawalpindi in the recent past, and not the high. It is not considered as that high scoring of those matches which we used to see in PSL. So most probably going forward, Rawalpindi will gain its shape. The famous Rawalpindi tracks of PSL, where everything is in excess of 200 and 220s, and even 240 is chaseable target, but not right now, because with this winter going on, with lesser amount of sunlight available and not that heat, roasting a pitch is just not an easy task for the groundsmen. So they just move on slightly with the mantra that everything happening at a slow pace. You cannot change the wicket overnight or in a week time. It will eventually get back to the original Pindi track, but it will take time. Secondly, with the 7th, 8th round of the Qualifiers Trophy is happening, the mantra of Pakistan Cricket Board is the last 3 matches of those 3 rounds of Qualifiers Trophy will be played on the turning tracks. So everywhere in Pakistan, Qualifiers Trophy is happening on the turning tracks.
Well, Bazid Khan today at the pitch report also said that the ball might stick to the pitch, and second time if there is dew, it might come onto the bat. All of a sudden, I've started now realizing why I was batting so well in our night tournament, in dew conditions. Now I've realized why my cut shot was perfect. But Sir Haider, particularly I want to talk about Sikandar Raza as a global icon for Zimbabwe cricket. He's just been someone who has given so much recognition to Zimbabwe cricket all of a sudden once again.
Yeah, absolutely. Sikandar Raza, he has been converted into a very good all-rounder. He's nowadays he is the first choice of every franchise league. So if you see other leagues out of PSL, Sikandar Raza is very busy, very engaged in all the leagues, and he is doing very well for the Zimbabwe team. We have seen in the last T20 World Cup how he was playing for with the other players of Zimbabwe, and as a skipper, as a leader, what is he doing? It's really very good thing for Zimbabwe cricket, because in the past we have seen some problems with the team players, and the players were not happy with the captain and the skipper and something. But Sikandar is genuine leader, and he's doing very good. Now, what is his own performance? It is also very good. I think as a bowler, as a batter, as an all-rounder, he has proved that he is one of the best all-rounders of the world today.
Well, even if that is much more of a comment which probably is in a building phase as well. I think, Sir Haider, against us, any player brings out his best. So I think we're a tricky side to play against as well. Even Blessing Muzrabani became unplayable for us. Sikandar Raza is someone who we fear bowling to as well, but that is typical Pakistan. But considering this would be probably one of the last phases of preparation for the T20 World Cup for all the three sides that are part of this Tri-Nation series, and Pakistan is playing all its matches in Sri Lanka, so we know what the conditions will be there. How do you see our preparation building to the T20 World Cup?
If you go for to see the preparation of the Pakistan team, I think they are on the right track. I will not complain that what they are not doing. They are doing all things they can do. They are doing. They are applying the bowlers, spinners, and by luck we have at this moment good spinners also in the team. Abrar Ahmed is doing well. Other Usman Tariq, he is a trump card of the Pakistan team, as always has been mentioned by the commentators. So Pakistan is in good shape for the Sri Lankan pitches. I think the batting, bowling, it is in a good shape at this moment. But in Sri Lankan pitches, they are not the high scoring pitches like that in Pakistan or other part of the world. In Sri Lanka, you are sometimes you are in a struggling phase, and you as a batter or bowler, you have to do something special, and this is very important for the Pakistani batters or bowlers, that they should be ready for the Sri Lankan pitches, that they should give not only the 100% performance but more than 100%, because you have to think about it. If you are going a bowler, you have to think about it, how you can get the runs, stop the runs, and how you can get the wicket. This is very important.
But
What
for
we
far
have
too
seen,
long, Pakistan's problem, I think, clearly has been once again in batting and bowling. I think it's the same number of overs, Kashif, over number 15 to 20. Especially, let's talk about our bowling first of all. We've lacked the ability to contain runs in those overs.
With this modern day cricket going on, you go and find out any quality side. Either they have got a one fast bowler who've been exceptional with the Yorkers. In my mind, it was Jasprit Bumrah, Mitchell Starc, Pat Cummins. Or from the second end, they've got a mystery spinner who knows how to tackle all these big flowing bats. So what we lack was a quality fast bowler who was not up there 145 and bowling those Yorkers along with the slow deliveries. We wanted Haris to do that, but he was so expensive, and he was all over the place. Shaheen in the start was good, but since he loses his space now, his fast delivery and his slow delivery, the difference between them is not that much, so he's easily pickable from the hand. I really wanted, when we at the peak of the T20, it was Saeed Ajmal's call to bowl all those last 2 or 3 overs, and he was exceptional in bowling those. So most probably we'll be looking to a guy who, with a mystery spinner, who can bowl all those 2 to 3 overs in the last, with Omar Gul to carry alongside him with all those Gul Yorkers. So this is where the mantra is, and eventually every team has find out a piece.
But Pakistan has moved on from specialists now. They're going with makeshift players, what we call all-rounders, in a more sophisticated manner. So we're going with Saim Ayub, Salman. I want to see Salman Ali Agha bowling more, but he doesn't bowl that often because he's trusting Saim Ayub a lot. So we've got all of these all-rounders now that are fixing the puzzle for Pakistan.
For all these all-rounders, let's start preparing 2 for the last 4 hours. That is 17, 18, 19, 20. That is your responsibility. I still remember Omar Gul started his bowling in the second World Cup which we won from the over number 12. Previously, the first 11 hours was not his responsibility no matter what. It was, Abdur Razak bowling with the new ball, and then the Amir, and then it was Shahid Afridi, and then Saeed Ajmal. All those guys have their, say till they were number 11. But 12, 14, 16, 18, or 14, 16, 18, 20, that was Omar Gul's specialty. So let's start creating one bowler.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the reasons why Abdur Razak was opening the bowling. So yes. that because they wanted to save Omar Gul for later on. And they found Mohammad Amir, young Mohammad Amir, in there as well. One of the reasons why we became successful in the 2009 World Cup. But Pakistan, Zimbabwe, let's take a look at their head-to-head stats as well for T20 international cricket. They're a bit interesting, but the fact is that dominance, of course, continues. 21 matches, Pakistan winning 18, 3 by Zimbabwe. Of course, there have been 5 home games for us. while we won 12 away games because of the fact that Pakistan was playing a lot of their cricket away. But I think Zimbabwe, for them these stats don't matter. If there's Sikandar Raza, he is the kind of superstar that any team wants, and the experience he's got playing in Pakistan because of his franchise of Lahore Qalandars in the PSL makes him right now probably, Kashif, the favourite among both teams.
And with this last performance in those shows in Pakistan, he just landed and played the final and became one of the sensational sensations in that final. So he knows inside out of the Pakistan, and he knows how to go about his business in Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium. And he's a Pakistani by birth, so he knows much more about the insides of the Pakistan cricket. Importantly, he's that match winner every team needs with the ball, with the bat in the field, and the energy he brought in the field, that is exceptional. So he's that kind of a guy. He's a true leader to Zimbabwe as well. He's been playing with Zimbabwe for a number of years now, and he's leading the T20 side, and alongside a number of other senior guys, he's that kind of a guy who can charge the rest of the 10 players at any moment. My concern will be how Pakistani bowling will go about their batting, because still for me the weak link in the Zimbabwean side is their batting.
Well, I've got the playing 11, so I'll just identify, because I was going to say I would be very interested Sikandar versus his skipper Shaheen Shah Afridi. That's going to be an interesting battle. But the playing 11s are now out for us as well. Saibzada Farhan and Saim Ayub are opening for Pakistan. Babar Azam at 3, I think as sorted. Salman at 4. Usman Khan, the wicket-keeper option. 6 is Fakhr Zaman for Pakistan at number 6. Mohammad Nawaz is 7, Fahim Ashraf at 8, Shaheen Shah Afridi at 9, Mohammad Salman Mirza at number 10, and then of course Abrar Ahmed at number 11.
For we'd go about with Fakhr Zaman, I still believe someone just missed out his name at number 4 or number 5. He'll be batting up in the order.
Yeah, because you said Salman doesn't prefer to bat up the order.
Yes, Salman is that kind of a leader who knows his limitations in T20, and he always allows others to shine, and he come up with this remarks again of Hassan Nawaz of generational talent. So he knows how to create players from a team, and he'll be batting when the spinners are on, and most probably that is his best best suited number when the spinners are on. Fakhr Zaman can be a player who can open the innings, who can play in the middle order, and even he can finish the innings.
Well, Fakhr Zaman is the new Shoaib Malik these days, playing at every number from number 11 till number 1. But Sir Haider, your thoughts on Pakistan's playing 11? Fakhr is slotted to bat at number 6.
I think it's not good for the Pakistan cricket team. If you are asking Fakhr Zaman to bat in the lower order, then you cannot utilize Fakhr Zaman. I think Pakistan should go Fakhr Zaman in the opening slot, or at least number 3 slot. It is very important, because Fakhr Zaman is like a batsman who plays better for opening bowlers, and he has an ability to demolish the opening bowling. But if you are going to ask him to bat in the lower order, then you are vesting the Fakhr Zaman. I don't think it's a good decision of the Pakistan team management.
Well, absolutely. Thank you very much, Sir Haider, for joining us on the scoreboard. Thank you very much, Kashif Majeed, to you as well for joining us. I think it's a good trick. If you bring Fakhr alongside Babar Azam, this can be a very partnership. It might give Babar the cushion he needs, might give Fakhr the cushion he needs as well. So this might be just a good enough partnership. But the action continues 6 p.m. onwards. You can watch it live on PTV Sports HD. Pakistan TV will keep updating you with all the latest scores that you need to know as well. So of course, do tune in, because the action is absolutely fantastic as Pakistan face Zimbabwe in the Tri-Series. Now we update you on something very, very particular in the world of sports, and that is of course 3 sisters who are now pursuing their Olympic dream as well. And we talk about Sam, Lauren and Ali Makuga, who of course are 3 sisters who will be vying for the Olympics as well. Sam is the oldest. She'll be competing in ski jumping. Lauren is the one in the middle. She will be competing in downhill and Super G alpine as well. Ali, the youngest, will be competing in freestyle skiing as well. The 3 sisters have of course their hope to qualify for the 26 Winter Olympics in Milan and Cortina. And of course, this is something of a rare feat that we see in the world as well. Their mother, Amy, had organized a color-coded calendar spreadsheet to keep track of where each sister was competing as well. So there was a lot of background in this as well, and despite their logistic challenges, the family said that we're committed and will make it work as well. And they're, of course, I think an absolutely dynamic trio that the world will be talking about. And I'm hoping all three of them qualify, because it's going to be very interesting. That's it from this edition of The Scoreboard. From us here at Pakistan TV, it's goodbye for now.